Hi, so I'm Susie from Women's Fight News, sponsored by Champions Memorabilia, and I'm here at the weigh-in for the OgawaCordina fight in Cardiff, and I'm here with Eddie Hearn. So I wanted to obviously ask you about the women's fights. So we've got Monique Bux, who's Cardiff's own, who's having her debut at Super Middle. So how do you feel about her fighting?
Yeah, I mean, we were told that Monique is very popular in Cardiff, which we heard today, and we've seen by the tickets she sold. DJ, singer, but also fighter, and has her professional debut. Haven't seen much of her. Seen her on the pads at the workout. Looks sharp. Good to see some talent coming through in the higher weight divisions. I think she weighed 164 pounds or something like that. So I think she'll be exciting and a good fight for her. And looking forward to seeing another female fighter begin their journey.
Yeah, I mean, I was exactly the same. Like, I'm really excited about that weight because there's not that many fighters around that weight.
Yeah, so.
And then obviously you've got Lauren Price, who's Welsh, who's just a little bit lower in weight, but potentially some sort of like match up down the line.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think Lauren will probably be closer to welterweight than I expect Monique to come down to middleweight, and who knows in time, but obviously Monique will suffer with the lack of experience that someone like Lauren Price has had in the amateurs, but that's okay. She can get her experience on a professional road. She is a very pleasant young lady. She's got a great story, and let's see if she can entertain tomorrow night. Yeah,
definitely. And obviously we've got Skye Nicholson, who's out again, which is amazing because how often she's been so active. So how do you see this fight going?
Well, she's lucky. She was supposed to have 3 fights, and then the plan was, when a fighter comes and basically leaves their life behind to move to the other side of the world to dedicate their life to the sport, you have to give them the respect and the activity. So the original plan was 3 fights, but then when she finished in New York, she's like, I've got a bit more time, can I have 4? So she boxed well there, and it's good to keep these fighters active. She's got a very tough fight tomorrow night, like a completely different kind of fight than she's had before. So far in her career, she boxed Jessica Juarez, which was a very risky opponent, 3-0 from San Diego on her debut, a southpaw as well. Won every round there. Then she fought Beck Connolly, which is more of a gatekeeper. Then she boxed Shaniqua Paisley-Davis in Madison Square Garden. I think she was 3-1. Bouvier's 15-10, but all of those losses come in, against Mariana Juarez and established world champions, and she's a former world champion herself. So it's the experience that she has as a pro. It's going to be a tough fight, but I think Skye is going to, surprise people with her power as the rounds extend, and you see that in New York. She's sitting down on her punches, etc. And Eddie Lamb and Al Smith have done a great job on her transitioning that style. And we want her to fight in a championship fight in September, which will be our first Australia show. And I think this will be a great yardstick to show if she's ready to move on to that. But she's a star in the making, and I think she's going to excite a lot of people and surprise a lot of people with her power as the rounds progress. Yeah,
because we saw that, didn't we, in New York?
Yeah, I think sometimes fighters can feel a little bit, they read too much social media. She can't punch, she can't do this, and when you're dedicating your whole life to something and you're registering all that negativity, it's like it can deflate you a little bit. So I think in her head, she would like to force a stoppage here, but it will come. And like I said, Eddie Lamb, Al Smith, just doing a great job with her. So I think she'll progress, and I expect to see her fighting for World Championships in 2023.
Brilliant. And obviously you touched on New York, so Serrano versus
amazing,
Taylor. Well, congratulations on that, because what a show.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, still getting over that fight. Listen, we'd love to do the rematch, and I don't know if Serrano wants that rematch next or whether she'd like to have a couple of fights in between, but it's there at Croke Park. It would be incredible, and there's a lot of money on the table, so we'll see if we can get that made, but still catching a breath from that fight. It was just an astonishing night.
I've heard rumours of August, because I'm sure I saw Serrano tweeting something about August.
She's talking about fighting August. That won't be against Katie Taylor. Our date would be in September at Croke Park, so we'll speak to their team. If they don't want the rematch, there's not a lot we can do. I mean, we are the champion offering the rematch after winning. It's quite unique, really, but I understand if Serrano doesn't want it just yet, and we'll see what happens, but that fight is there, and it would be another history-making moment. Yeah,
and talking about some of your other fighters, what about Sandy Ryan? When do you expect to see her?
Sandy Ryan will rematch Erica Farias straight off the bat. That's going to be end of July, early August.
Brilliant.
Great fight and must win. It's very courageous of her taking that kind of fight. I don't think she boxed great in that fight, and I don't think it was the wrong fight for her, but I think she's got to prepare better, she's got to be better in the fight, and that's going to be a must-win fight. It's only her 4th fight or something, so she's fighting at a high level already. But Farias is a good fighter, and again, when you talk about Bouvier fighting Nicholson, this is like they're different kind of fighters than just fighting more of a novice pro. These are experienced fighters that know how to know their way around the ring, know how to hold, to tie up, to box at range, to box up close. And I think, but these great amateurs like Sandy and like Skye should be good enough to deal with that level.
Yeah.
And it's a very important rematch for Sandy Ryan.
Yeah, because I felt like she got some unfair stick over that. Because, like you say, she's so
but also
starting
she
out.
can be, sometimes she likes to be a little bit controversial, a bit angry if you like, and you've got to take the rough with the smooth. Like I said, you shouldn't read too much social media, because why would you let someone who can't do what you do tell you what you're doing right and wrong?
Definitely.
And don't let people get in the way of your path or your dreams, who just couldn't even go anywhere near to walking the path you walk. So, but I know these young fighters, they read it, and it's sort of, and so good bit of advice for young fighters: don't read everything on social media. And Sandy's really training hard for that fight.
Yeah. Ebanie Bridges.
She's going to be fighting August or early September. She's going to be defending her title. And then she wants a unification. I mean, she believes she can beat the other champion. She did an amazing job against Cecilia Roman. Shocked a lot of people with that performance. She'll be looking to defend her championship probably in August, and then move on and unify before the end of the year.
Brilliant. Chantelle Cameron, obviously she's just been out. But
yeah, we want the Kaylee Reese fight. I mean, look, there's two fights. The Kaylee Reese fight, which is undisputed at 140, and Jessica McCaskill, which is undisputed at 147.
Yeah,
two brilliant fights. So, but I want to wrap up that tournament. That was the plan. But if Kaylee Reese is medically fit to fight, then we'd love to do that fight. If not, we'll be looking to make the Jessica McCaskill fight.
Yeah. And what about against Katie Taylor? Because I know there's always a lot of noise about that.
I think that's a big fight. Yeah, I think that Katie Taylor's kind of at this level now where you talk about Serrano and Holly Holm and Cyborg and stuff like that. But look, Chantelle Cameron has always wanted that fight. I know that Katie would accept that fight as well, and you could end up, what I would like to do is get Chantelle Cameron undisputed, and then you've got two undisputed champions fighting each other. So I think that's a big fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if Chantelle, like you say, becomes undisputed, takes on McCaskill, and imagine she wins that, and then a mega fight down the line.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we want, and that was always the plan with the tournament. So hopefully we can get that wrapped up.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for your
time. No problem
at all.
Thanks. Cheers.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and why not check out any other videos on the channel. You can follow Women's Fight News on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.